We haven't seen Sly in the gang since 2005 on the PlayStation 2, and while Sly has gotten the HD facelift for his PS2 adventures, we never got a new complete entry to the series. Enter Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, the latest installment. Series creator Sucker Punch Productions has stepped aside on the series for now, with Sanzaru Games being the developer for Thieves in Time. This naturally raises concerns for many beloved fans. Can Sanzaru Games replicate Sly? Can they make a proper entry? Can they take it a step further to make the game even better? Thankfully, I can answer all those questions with a huge, resounding yes. Sanzaru Games has captured everything good about Sly Cooper and made it better. Thieves in Time starts us where we were last. The gang has split apart, living their lives. Even Sly retiring the crime life for a love life with Carmelita Fox. Or so we thought. Bentley notices pages from the Thievius Raccoonus are mysteriously vanishing before his eyes. Taking quick action, he summons the gang back together to come up with a game plan. That plan being time travel. Using Bentley's new invention, the gang travels back in time to see why history is being rewritten, to find out what was causing Sly's lineage to deplete. Throughout your adventure, you travel through multiple time periods, meeting Sly's ancestors. These are ancestors we've been hearing about the entire series, and it's awesome to meet descendants like Ryuichi and Tennessee Cooper. This is a great story, with the same great dialogue you'd expect from Sly, Murray, and Bentley. You'll even be on the edge of your chair for some moments. The outline of your adventure in general is still very familiar. You have a hideout, a huge location, and one mob boss to follow around, waiting to make your move. There's nothing wrong with this at all, considering how many new ways there are to play. You play as every character under the sun in Thieves in Time, from the original gang, to Carmelita, to Sly's ancestors. Sly's ancestors in question have specific skill sets that allow them to travel or fight differently. For example, Tennessee Cooper has a gun on his cane. For many moments when you're using him, it almost feels like you're playing a third-person shooter. It feels great and the experience is fresh. Sly himself also takes on new abilities. Throughout the journey, Sly gets new costumes that allow him to traverse the land differently. You may see an item you want, but you can't get it until you use your costumes correctly. Gameplay as a whole is very much unchanged, and that's not a problem. If you've played Sly before, you're right at home here, and if you haven't, it's still as easy as ever to jump into. So what will you be doing beyond your main missions? A lot, actually. Not only are there classic clue bottles and treasures hidden all around the area, but there's also arcade machines to play and Sly masks to collect this time around. So now that Sly's on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, there's more room for a prettier game. Thieves in Time on PS3 looks great. The cartoon art style looks sharp, without too much added detail to make it look overly bizarre. As for the PlayStation Vita version, the same game is there from top to bottom. Though the Vita version doesn't stack up presentationally against the PS3, it still looks great. If you're only buying the Vita version, you're still getting a great game, but the PS3 version is dominant here. Cross saves are present here, and it works great. Upload your cloud save, download it on the other system, and you're ready to go. It's flawless. One surprisingly awesome feature is Vita's AR mode. If you're mostly playing on PS3, you can use your Vita copy of the game to show you hidden items on the PS3. The Vita screen shows what your PS3 sees, but highlights all the goodies. I used this the entire game and it worked great. There is one major issue with Thieves in Time, and that's performance. Thieves in Time drops frame rates on both systems quite often. Sometimes, I'd get caught by one guard and start running away, and the frames drop. This easily happened whenever I had multiple guards running after me. Then there's loading times. They're absolutely abysmal. Any transition in the game triggered insanely long load times, some easily exceeding a minute long. I almost hated going back to the hideout or switching characters simply because it took too long. These performance issues really flustered me. Sly isn't a visually demanding game. These shouldn't be here.
Sweet jumping jackrabbits! That's no lady, that's Carmelita!
I fell in love with Sly Cooper on the PlayStation 2, and I have Sucker Punch to thank for that. Today, in 2013, I have Sanzaru Games to thank for making my favorite entry in the series. Performance was a bummer, sure, but it didn't stop me from playing. Time traveling with Sly Cooper and the gang was a blast from the past.